Howdy, y'all. Gonna take a little tour around the yard today, and it's gonna turn off cold soon. It's supposed to rain and get colder, so I thought I would take a good long last look at what's going on in the yard, what kind of flowers and mushrooms and things that are happening today. And so if you would enjoy that, come along with me. And of course, Howard will be assisting me in our yard tour today. There are still a couple of blossoms on these lovely big flowers. Some interesting mushrooms around, several I've seen. This is a very firm orange looking mushroom. Orange like someone else. These are even a brighter, more intense orange color. Here are some tiny little shelf mushrooms on an old log. They're very small. They're very pretty when you look closely. They kind of, to me, look like shells. I finally caught these partway open so you can kind of see the color. They're very deep magenta. And these pretty little white flowers are on this succulent plant, which is so heavy it's weighed itself over. Most of the long fronds have weighed over like that, but they are such pretty little flowers. Oh, watch out, Howard. He just bumps me over. They're very pretty. Little tiny pink centers. Lovely. Here's a few mushrooms by this old log. Little small patch of clover that's blooming right now. Not much. Usually this tree is almost encircled with it, but we just got a little bit right now. Here's a little puffball. It's small. Little tiny. The puffball and the stuff comes off. This one looks quite interesting to me. It's in a bit of a little low spot out here in the shade. And would you look at that? Isn't that something? It's just lots of layers. It's a real pretty rusty brown color. I just find mushrooms so fascinating, mainly because they grow so fast. They just pop up overnight and then they're gone. That's a really cool looking one. Watch out, Howard. These are some big, fat, hardy mushrooms. They look very thick underneath. They seem very big. They remind me of bread, like a big yeast roll or something. They're all puffed up and they don't have gills. They're all foamy underneath. And they feel like bread. I don't know what kind they are, but that's what they remind me of. These are kind of pretty, kind of yellow. There's Howard for scale. Oh, don't step on him, man. Here's some lovely little blue flowers, wildflowers. They're gorgeous. And then there's some tiny little pink ones. Very pretty. These are just kind of all around until they're smashed by Howard. There are still lots of these beautiful American Beauty berries. Such a vibrant purple. Just lovely to look at. When the sun shines on them, they just almost seem lit from within. They're such a bright purple. Lovely plant. My little garden patch is still producing. Got peppers, bell peppers. I think I have some more over here. Here's one. There's a little baby hiding back there. And I've got jalapeno peppers. If you can see, there's a whole bunch on here. Lots of jalapeno peppers. And I am still getting tomatoes here and there off the big tomato, huge bramble. But since I didn't trim them properly, I'm getting a lot of growth, but not much fruit. So next time, we'll definitely have to trim them. But I'm getting a few tomatoes here and there. And of course, mushrooms. There are still mushrooms every day. New big mushrooms in the garden. These mushrooms are a little different than the ones I've seen in the garden before. As you can see, underneath the tomato plants are all up there. And underneath here is just like perfect for mushrooms. They go crazy in here. These white ones pop up every day. So yeah, I'm still getting a little fruit, but not much. It's mostly just vines and mushrooms, really. Here's a little yellow, bright yellow mushroom. Look at that thing. Cutie. There's a couple more. So I'm real proud that my jalapenos are doing so well. I've gotten a bunch off of here. These are tiny. And used them in my cooking. I've been using them almost every day. I get a few peppers. Armadillos have been at it. This is a good-sized armadillo hole. If you can tell, my boot goes all the way in it. So this was made by a big guy. And these are very much a nuisance to have in the yard. Now we have cleaned this up a lot. But I was just going to show you that all of these are pine cones that have been stripped. And a squirrel has sat in this tree and stripped pine cones, getting ready for winter, stacking up the little seeds. And like I said, we've cleaned up so much around this tree. But you can see just from here, this guy's getting ready for winter. He has lots of pine nuts stored up in there. And if we didn't clean this up, this would be piled up an amazing amount with these little chips that they pull off of the pine cones and then the pine cone cores. So they are stocking up